Good evening, and welcome to Sweet Blessings, the Anna L. Brothers Show and Podcast, where we inspire, we encourage, and we empower people to live a healthier lifestyle. We do this by providing workshops and speakers and uh, knowledge. To keep you informed about everything that is going on in your everyday life to make you live a better and a healthier lifestyle. So, I am Anna. I am a retired school teacher. I'm an author. I'm an educational consultant. I am a jewelry consultant. I am a certified baker as well as a health consultant. So I am a woman of many, 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 many hats. And so I come to you, and the reason that I kind of got this podcast going was because I found out that I was lacking in knowledge of certain things. And I wanted to, find out about those things. And the only way for me to kind of find out about those things was to really basically research. And on the whole, I am a research person. And I figured like this, if I did not know, then other people, there was a possibility that other people did not know as well. So, sorry. My light just went out. Hold on. It's always something. I was wondering what was going. Why was it all of a sudden so dark here? So let me get this going back real quick. Alrighty. Much better. You can see me. Oh my God. So anyway, as I was saying, I am a woman of many, many hats, and so I started this because I was lacking in knowledge, and I wanted to find out things. And I figured if I wanted to find out things as well, then other people would also, might want to know as well. So let one person, if I just let one person know, then that's all that matters to me. It just takes one. One can spread to two, two can spread to three, and so on and so on. So I am on here this evening. We are talking about harvest, the autumn harvest delight. So there's a few things I would like to do some housekeeping first before I begin on that subject. And the first thing I want to do is those people who are on my Facebook page, I just want you to know that you can support me by sending stars. Stars help me to earn money to make more content and just make things better on the whole for my podcast. I would love to have a backdrop. All these things cost a little bit of money, so I have to wait until I can afford those type of things. But just keep that in mind if you feel like you want to support me. I also offer sponsorships where you can be a sponsor to my program, as well as a ads or advertising. I do voiceovers, all kinds of things. So if you're interested in any of those type of things like that, you can always reach out to me. There's two places where you can reach out to me. And one of those places is my Bit, which this is my Bit. So there is my website. You can book to be a guest on my show there, as well as you can see my uh, podcast sponsorships and episode, as well as advertising things as well as there. You can also reach out to me at this website, which I have streaming down at the bottom. You can reach out there. You ask me any questions, and also to find out a little bit about the program and the podcast. I'm always looking for ordinary people doing extraordinary things to broadcast on the show, because those are people that you never, ever ever hear about some of them until they become, really famous. But there are a lot of people out here that are doing magnificent things to make the world better, as well as to make your life better as well. So I am on YouTube. This is being streamed to YouTube as we speak. And I'm always grateful when someone goes to my YouTube channel and they subscribe to it. So I have that streaming down at the bottom as well. I am always trying to increase my viewers' participation and everything. And if you feel like this program is something that you feel that someone can benefit from, by all means, please share it. So remember to subscribe, share, and follow me on all of my platforms that I'm on. I do come on live 3 days a week doing my jewelry, because I am a jewelry consultant as well. I do periodically, I do demos on cake. Been a certified cake decorator for over 20 years. So I do also do those type of things as well. I do demos and those things. So you'll see me doing those. I have not done stream those things, but I do have pages. And so if you're interested in that, remember you can always contact me at this information right there as well. So this is my Facebook page there as well. And I think we are just going to go ahead and get started. What I am going to do though is to go ahead and do a commercial. And then when we come back, I am going to talk about autumn's harvest delight, discovering autumn's harvest delight. Which is going to encompass several things. I'm going to talk a little bit about fall and the smells that you sense when fall gets here, because we are in the fall season. It is really my season, and I'll tell you when we come back.
The Homeschooling Interactive Magazine is a magazine that embraces and celebrates the entire homeschooling experience. Our magazine is different from all the rest because we provide beneficial information and assistance in homeschooling, business, wellness, mental health, resources, and life. We encourage you to pick up a copy of our magazine today on Amazon.com by simply searching the Homeschooling Interactive Magazine. The Homeschooling Interactive Magazine is all about impacting the world through home-based learning, helping to de-stress the homeschooling experience. Get your copy from Amazon today.
Well, welcome back. Welcome back. So, discovering autumn's harvest delights. So, when you think of autumn and its delights, what do you think about? What are some of those delightful things that you think about when you think about autumn? And so I thought that last week I talked about the garden and preparing your garden and everything, for the winter, so that you have a bountiful a spring. So you don't have to work so hard and on those, to do those things to preserve your yard so it's fertile. So, but this week I want to talk about, and that's really like the beginning of autumn, when you start preparing your garden and getting it ready for the winter, as well as preparing it for the spring. So, but when you think about uh, fall, let's first let's talk about the culinary things that when what do you think about? So because I'm gonna tell you right now, fall brings so many. It's just bountiful of culinary delights, with a focus on, it kind of makes you feel warm and comforting, and seasonal favorites. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about those uh, culinary delights of fall. Okay, so because when you think of fall, you're going to actually, the first thing you're going to think about is pumpkins. I don't know, uh, pumpkins is the, I guess, quintessential fall ingredient. You can make pumpkin pie, pumpkin bread, pumpkin soup, and even pumpkin lattes, however you want to uh, put it. So pumpkins are very, very, when the fall comes, you look forward to to the scents and things of the pumpkins. And the next thing is apples. When you think of fall, do you think of apples? I think of apples. I always remember going to the apple orchard with my children at school when I was teaching. And there was this apple orchard that it was several that I went to, but the one that I basically took my children was, I don't even know if it's around still. It called Ranky Apple Orchard, and it was located in Michigan City, Indiana. And I love this for the children because it was the type of apple orchard where it was down like in a valley, like, and the shop or the fruit stand or whatever was up on the hill. And so the children would get there and they would just, oh my God, they would just be running down that hill with such joy because I worked in the inner city. Most of them had not participated in, a trip to the apple orchard or anything like that. And so each child was given a bag and they could go around and select the apples and put them in their bag. And what I loved about this apple orchard was that they labeled the trees, okay, so that the children couldn't read basically, but we could read them to the children. So they had Macintosh, they had Gala, they had just a wide variety of apples. And then the apples were low enough so that the children could select them or pick them and put them in their bag. I'm not even going to tell you the story of us getting back on the bus with those going up the hill and getting on the bus, going back to the school because it is hilarious. But when you think of the culinary delights of the fall, you're going to think about apples. You can't help but think about apples. You're also going to think about squash. Let me tell you about, well, let me talk a little bit more about apple. Fall is apple picking season. And I just told you that. And you can use them in pies, crisp, tarts, cider, and applesauce. And that's another thing. I used to make applesauce with my children at school. We would get the apples. I would bring apples back as well. And then I would uh, take those apples and we would have like nutritional lessons in the classroom, cut them up, make them half so that they could understand a half and a whole, and then even into fourths as well. Peel them, show them that we could cook them, just all kinds of things that you can do with those type of things with the apple. And then the squash, well, a pumpkin is a squash, but you want to talk about the varieties in the squash, like the butternut squash, the acorn squash, the spaghetti squash, and they are versatile. These are squashes that are versatile, whereas you can use them in uh, you can mash them, or you can even use these in soups. These type of squashes, and I let's not forget about the sweet potatoes. Now sweet potatoes is really a staple of the fall. Okay, the fall. It is just one of those things. You can roast them. You can make sweet potatoes casserole. You can create sweet potato fries, and they're rich in flavor and nutrient. You can even bake them. Okay, I love baked sweet potatoes. So these are all of the like culinary delights. When you think about fall, these are some of the things that you think about. You think about the cranberries because you know you're going to have cranberries for Thanksgiving. And you know, Thanksgiving is part of the fall. So, but cranberries can also be used in muffins. They can be used in sauces, and they also can be used in cocktails. And I'm going to talk a little bit about cocktails. Cocktails a little bit later on in this program because there are a lot of fall cocktails that you can prepare. And I'm going to give you the version with the alcohol in it, but you can always delete the alcohol and make it a mocktail if you want to as well. So another one is pears. You see a lot of pear desserts. The pears are perfect for poaching, baking into desserts, or adding to salads with goat cheese and walnuts. I have some goat cheese in there now. I got walnuts, and I got some pear and cinnamon spread that you use on the cheese and the crackers. I cannot wait to taste that and just enjoy that while I'm watching television one of these evenings. Probably, it probably more than likely will be Saturday as opposed to Friday when I'm sitting back just want to watch a movie or something and have that. That is such a great thing to snack on as well. And then don't forget chestnuts, okay? You can roast the chestnuts, and you know, it's really a nostalgic treat, okay? But you can also use them in stuffing and desserts. My mother used to make dressing, and she would put um, chestnuts in it, among other things. You know, she put other things in there as well, but she did put chestnuts. And the last thing is Brussels sprouts, which is, I'm going to be honest with you, it is not one of my favorite pieces of thing for the thing. Little baby cabbages, I always call them. But uh, they are very good for you, and I have learned to prepare them in different ways so that I can enjoy them a little bit better. So they like I said, they're little baby or small cabbages, and you can roast them with olive oil and salt and pepper, and also they can be used in salads and things like those things. So we're going to take another brief commercial. And when I come back, I am going to talk to you a little bit about fall foods because I believe that fall foods has their own category. You know, they fit right into that category of fall foods. So hold on, let's take this brief commercial and then we'll be right back.
Oh my goodness, the mailman came. I hope my sweet little thing cookie's in here. I just hope it's in here. Let me see. Let me open this up. That's it. That's it. Sweet little thing cookie. That sweet little thing cookie. Oh, I'ma have me a ball now. Let me just get this right here. Little thing cookie. That sweet little thing cookie. Oh yeah. I finally got my cookies. This sweet little thing cookies. Oh yeah. I'ma have fun. This package kind of big though. Man, it got a lot of cookies. Oh yeah, this the best day ever. I'm trying to tell you, I got my cookies, and I'm gonna eat these cookies, and ain't nobody gonna stop me. Wait, what?
Marie, what you doing, man? You can't have those cookies right now. I'm sorry, we about to eat dinner. Once we finish dinner, then you can have those cookies. Go ahead, put them up. Go ahead, put them up.
Are you serious, bruh? I got sweet Lestain cookies, and now I gotta wait for dinner? can I at least look at the cookies? Thank you. Oh my goodness, I waited all this time now. I got to do all this. Fine. Oh yeah. I got my hands on some sweet Lestane cookies. But I can't eat them right now because bruh talking about I gotta wait to dinner. Okay, I'ma do that. But once I finish that, it's gonna be on y'all. Wait a minute. Bruh talking about cooking some food. All this is a can of salmon and some frozen biscuit. Bruh cannot cook. I know he don't think I'ma eat this. Ain't no way. Bruh. Hey, bruh. Daddy. Where are you? You set me up, homie. You had me about to eat a can of salmon and some frozen biscuit. I'm not down with that. I want my sweet Lestane cookies. My sweet Lestane cookies. Carrot cook. Is this what I'm saying? I was born by the river in a little old tent. Just like that river, I was running ever since. Marie, hey man, it ain't what it's not what it thinks. I'm sorry. I was just gonna eat one cookie, but I ate them all. It's not my fault, Marie. I know better than this. You trying to set me up, homie. You had me eating that nasty food, and you ate all the cookies?
Finish him.
All righty, we are back. Make sure you try some of those sweet Lestane cookies. They are something to talk about briefly. Let's move on here. I want to talk to you a little bit about fall foods because when you think of fall, there are certain foods that you think of. And one of the first things, well, one of the first things I'm going to talk about is the pumpkin soup. I'm not fond of pumpkin soup, but it is very popular during the fall season. And it's a creamy pumpkin soup with roasted pumpkin. It has onions in it and garlic and a touch of nutmeg. And it's garnished with toasted pumpkin seeds, which is what you see basically in this picture. Now, when you think fall, even though it's a wonderful season, you always think of cozy and flavorful foods, basically. And pumpkin soup is just one of those things. I'm going to tell you, I can really and truly break down a pumpkin. I have been, and when I was working and teaching, and I had Head Start. I've taught many things, but when I had Head Start, I had a class in the morning and a class in the afternoon, and we would do the pumpkin different ways because they needed to know that you could do pumpkins. You didn't always have to carve the pumpkin out. So we would take the pumpkin, class would carve the pumpkin out, and then the other class would maybe do the pumpkin with vegetables. Okay, so you would have the nose and those type of things would be made out of vegetables, and the children really enjoyed it. They could share it because the classes came at different times and they could see those things as well. Now, we don't want to cut out apple pie because apple pie is a staple for the fall. A classic apple pie with a flaky crust, the cinnamon spice apples, and a scoop of vanilla ice cream. I mean, those are just basically the staple. And the apple pie can be made many, many different ways. And that's another thing besides making the apple sauce. I also made an apple pie for the children so that then that way they got a chance to kind of taste the apple pie. And it was just so wonderful watching them watch because they had picked these apples from the apple orchard and we cut them up and put all of the ingredients in and we discussed those as we did this, and then they were able to eat that finished product. Now the next one is a butternut squash risotto, and that's a creamy risotto made with roasted butternut squash and a hint of sage for a comforting fall dish. Okay. And so butternut squash, I love butternut squash. I don't think there's any way that I have had butternut squash that I did not like it. So it is just delicious. If you get a chance, try it. Try something different. Try a different vegetable. It's something that my mother instilled in me, and it's something that I instilled into my daughter. So every once in a while, if we go someplace and we see a different type of vegetable or a different type of meat and stuff, we will purchase that and then cook that to see. So don't be afraid to try something different. It doesn't hurt. And then the next thing is another staple. We all know about the caramel apples. We even made caramel apples at the school as well with the children with those apples. We did quite a few things with the apples, and you can learn quite a few things when you with the apples. Just not because it's a vegetable, but also because you can do math and science and history, and all of those things can be wrapped up into that one little apple lesson. And I always try to incorporate the children in any of this because they should be aware of these things. But you can also make you can dip the apples in homemade caramel sauce and roll them in crushed nuts or even chocolate chips, because some people they are allergic to nuts. So an alternative to that would be the chocolate chips as opposed to the nuts. Excuse me. Roasted, my throat is dry, but roasted root vegetables is the next thing that I kind of want to talk about. And those are like carrots and potatoes and parsnip. And what you can do is you can toss these type of root vegetables with olive oil or herbs and roast them until they're caramelized and eat them. Very healthy. It is a healthy way of eating with the roasted vegetables, and they're really, really quite tasty. If you if you ask me. Then we have spiced hot chocolate, and you know that hot chocolate is very, very, very popular. Is one of those foods that is very popular in the fall, and you can make hot chocolate with a twist. You can put cinnamon in and nutmeg, and then you can also put a splash of whipped cream in it as well. So let's continue on. I have some more fall foods for you. Let's see. So we also have cranberry sauce, which is you can prepare homemade cranberry sauce with fresh cranberries, and then you can also add a little orange zest and a touch of maple syrup to it, which would make it just really, really good. Be creative. Some people are not into cooking as per se, but hello, how are you, Dr. Ramsey? How are you? Thanks for joining me this evening. But per se, um, but you can still be creative with your fall foods. And then you have the savory pumpkin paste, which I have up there. Some of these are new to me, but then some of them are not. So you can create a creamy pumpkin paste sauce with the sauteed garlic, sage, and a sprinkle of Parmesan cheese. Sounds good, doesn't it? And then we have the stuffed acorn squash. Now, I love this. Is another squash. This is another one of my favorite squash. They're suggesting that you stuff it, but when I make it, or when my mother made it, we just scooped it out, and we put honey and brown sugar um, in it, and butter, and then we just kept like sauteing and cooked it till it was done and soft. Oh, you talking about delicious? I mean, that is so good, y'all. Oh my God, so that is one of my favorite. But what they're saying is you can have the acorn squash. It is very hard to cut, y'all. And you can scoop out the seeds and stuff it with a mixture of uh, granola, dried cranberries, and nuts. Really and truly, you probably can stuff it with many things. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to just what they're saying here. Be creative with it. That's all I'm saying. And then they have the maple glazed Brussels sprouts, which I told you was not one of my favorites, but I like this one. This is one that you roast. You're going to roast the Brussels sprouts until they're crispy and drizzle with a maple glaze for a sweet and savory side dish. So you're going to put that maple glaze on it. And this is also a good one for carrots as well, since I'm talking about the maple glaze thing. But you can also do that with carrots as well. And then you have the pear and gorgonzola salad. And that one you're going to combine the sliced pears, and then you're going to crumble the cheese, and then you're going to candy the pecans and mixed greens, and then drizzle them with balsamic vinaigrette. And it doesn't say which kind. You can just use any one. My favorite one is raspberry vinaigrette. I love that one. But the vinaigrettes come in many flavors, and you have to find one that you like. That's basically what I would suggest. And then last but not least is the homemade chili. Cook a hearty chili with ground beef or beans, tomatoes, and plenty of chili spices for warmth. So these are some of the fall foods. When fall comes, you're going to be eating some of these foods. I just also want to remind you, though, to adjust these recipes to your dietary preference and requirements. Fall is a time for comfort and indulgence. So feel free to get creative and enjoy the seasonal favorites. And so now we're going to take another commercial, and then we're going to come back, and then I'm going to tell you about these cocktails, because in the fall they have several fall cocktails, and I'm just going to give you a few of them that you can utilize, or you can make, and you can also all of these cocktails that I will be telling you about, they you can use also make them a mock cocktail. You just take out the liquor. But I'm going to tell you the liquor. Just remember, if you want to make it mock, you go, you're going to take the liquor out. All right. So let me show you this brief commercial, and we'll be right back.
CTR Media Network is now accepting new podcasters to join our growing network that's reaching 350 million global listeners. Have you heard? CTR Media Network offers podcast production, podcast training, distribution, and product placement. Book us for your next event or schedule an interview with CTR Media Network podcasters today. To learn more, go to ctrmedianetwork.com.
Hello and welcome back. Welcome back. So now we are going to talk about a little bit about fall cocktails. And I used to be I used to really love to entertain, and I gave, a lot of parties during the holidays and those things like that. And I used to love making mixed drinks. So throughout my party, I would make mixed drinks or whatever it was, whether it was Christmas or whether it was fall or my birthday. I always had some type of libation at my party. And I also had things for the children because children came to the party. My parties were never things like where it was just, people had families and they brought their kids. So they had sparkling grape juice or something like, those type of things. So, but anyway, I want to tell you about some fall beverages that you can make. So if I go too fast or you feel like this is a list that you would like to have, just remember you can always text me at that at my email to get this. Here it is. I'm going to put it right here. You can always text me at this email or shoot me an email. You not text me, but you can always shoot me an email here, and I will be able to provide you with that as well. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk a little bit about the apple cider margarita. And so this one here, what that is, let me find my notes here. You're going to combine apple cider, tequila. It says triple section and a splash of lime juice to the rim, and then a lime juice, and then rim the glass with cinnamon sugar for extra flavor. So that one is made with tequila triple section. I'm thinking that might be where you take the lime and put it into different sections, and then you're going to put a splash of that juice around the rim of it, and you're going to sprinkle it with pumpkin spice. So the next one is pumpkin spice white Russian. Now, I used to love white Russians and black Russians when I was working with Avon, and after work we would all, we would have district managers meetings, and after work we would always go out and I would drink black Russians or either white Russians, and it's a good drink, and it is made with vodka, they use and coffee liqueur and pumpkin spice creamer. So you're gonna pour it over ice and garnish it with a sprinkle of pumpkin spice. And then the next one is cranberry bourbon sour. And that one is you're going to shake the bourbon with fresh cranberry juice, lemon juice, and simply syrup with ice. And then you're going to strain it into a glass and add a few cranberries for garnish. So you can see that these are all very, very easy cocktails to make, and you don't have to go through a lot trouble to make them. And remember what I said, if you wanted to make them mock, you could also make them a mock cocktail. So the next one is a maple old fashioned, and it's you muddle a sugar cube with a few dashes of bitter, and then you add the bourbon and maple syrup and stir. You garnish with an orange twist and a cherry. Now, they're saying sugar cubes. I don't even know if they still make those. I used those a lot when I was teaching my children, the cubes. But I don't know. I'm gonna check in the store the next time that I go to see if they still sell the sugar cubes, and that's what they're saying to use in here. I'm sure you can probably get them on Amazon. Amazon sells everything. And then the next one is spiced pear martini, and you're gonna get pear vodka and spiced pear liqueur and a touch of lemon juice, and then you're gonna strain this into a martini glass and garnish with a thin pear slice. Now I want to make this one because I don't have the pear vodka, nor do I have the pear liqueur. And I really don't want to go out and purchase those things if I'm not going to, utilize. I might not even like it. You know what I'm saying? But it just seems like it might be something that would be tasty. Okay, cinnamon apple whiskey sour. You're going to mix whiskey with the apple cider, lemon juice, and a pinch of ground cinnamon. And you're going to serve it over ice and garnish with an apple slice. So these are all fall cocktails or drinks that you can use when you are socializing or just having company over for the holidays. Now, the mulled wine, it's a warm red wine with spices like cinnamon, clove, and star anise. It's sweetened with honey or sugar and added orange slices. Now, this is one that my mother used to make during the holidays. I remember her using the cheesecloth and putting all of these ingredients in the cheesecloth, and then she would put them and boil them and in the wine and everything. But it was delicious. It really was a delicious, delicious drink. All right, we're gonna move on to some more. So we have the some more fall cocktails. The gingerbread martini. Now that one seems interesting, but this one you're gonna combine vanilla vodka. So vodka comes in many flavors, okay? And then coffee liqueur, and then gingerbread syrup and cream. You're going to shake it and strain it into a martini glass and then sprinkle with crushed ginger snaps. So, sounds kind of interesting. And then the next one is hot buttered rum. Hot butter rum. Okay. And you make a batter with the butter, the brown sugar, and spices. And then you add a spoonful to a mug and you pour in dark rum and top with hot water. And then you're going to stir it until the butter melts. Yummy. I like hot buttered rum. It just, all of these to me, when you are, you've been out and it's cold outside and you've had to shovel the snow and you come in, these are really a nice warming drink for you to have as well. So also the next one is autumn sangria, which is you mix red wine with apple cider and brandy. You add sliced apples, oranges, and cinnamon stick, and let it chill and infuse for a few hours. So you want that one to sit up for a little while. And then you have the caramel apple mule, which is you combine vodka, apple cider, and ginger beer, and you drizzle the caramel sauce inside the glass and garnish with apple slices. I bet you that is really, really uh, pretty and a nice social drink. Might even be a what you might call a conversation piece. And then we have chestnut martini. That's when you infuse chestnut liqueur. So liqueur comes in many, many different flavors. You have orange liqueur, apple liqueur, coffee liqueur. So liqueur comes in many different types of flavors as well. And so you're going to infuse the chestnut liqueur with the vodka. And then you're going to shake it and strain it into a martini glass. And then you want to garnish it with a roasted chestnut. Okay. So I just want you to remember to enjoy these cocktails responsibly. And feel free to adjust the sweetness and the spice levels to suit your taste preference. Okay. So as I move on, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to cheer you on to have a cozy fall season. And so, as I close with this episode of Autumn, Discovering Autumn Delights, um, Autumn Harvest Delights, I want you to, if you decide that you would like to have that list of the cocktails, by all means, remember to reach out to me at Listine1@gmail.com. Also, I'm also going to remind you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is down at the bottom of the screen as well. Also, I want to, as I close, I always close with um, my 3 L's. And my 3 L's are the first one is to live. Live your life to the fullest. Living your life to the fullest will make you be happy and will also help you live a healthier lifestyle. The second one is to laugh. Don't forget to laugh. Make sure you find somewhere in your day to bring some type of laughter to your self. And please don't forget to laugh about yourself. And so the third thing is to love. Make sure you love. Even love those people who get on your nerve. I know it's difficult, but you must do that. The Bible says you should love everyone. And my grandmother says you can. Some people you just have to love with a long wooden spoon. And just remember also to love yourself. It's important that self-love is very important. So this evening as I close, I hope that in some way that I have inspired you. I hope that some way I have encouraged you. And I hope that in some way I have empowered you to live a healthier lifestyle. So with that, I am going to leave you. You know I come on every Wednesday with spreading some type of joy or happiness, knowledge, or speakers. to help you live a healthier lifestyle. See you next Wednesday. Bye-bye.